Yeah, always got to get that one in there. Thanks everybody. These your words have been beautiful tonight and really overwhelming. I'm having a little imposter syndrome. Um, so I'm just gonna read a few pieces. They're really just strung together by storytelling and family. And yeah, this first piece is called Everlasting. When we talk about love, we do it often with the same breath we talk about destiny, fate, faith, commitment, and a thousand other things that sound like cement, forever being as much of a lie as damage control or cement that can never crack. The opposite of never is ever, lasting much longer than any one echo should. Sometimes when we three talk about love, we talk as though we were destined, the fate versus destiny argument forming broodingly similar cumulonimbus forms as the arguments for nurture or nature, threatening nuclear destruction in our family. This one is called On Father's Day. So much made of the physical connection to the emotional connectedness of beings born from one who then become another. What if it were true that only an umbilical cord was capable of transmitting the inextricable, the words uttered in strings between points of people making webs vibrating with such sonic force as to make one weep to the tune of three little words sung 1,000 different ways? And not of looks cast, shot, or slung in still photos, kept until recently in someone's shoebox or garage, reached for in the middle of the night, in the middle of a spring cleaning, a glimpse of what made you happy or contented. Or the hands you hold that hold you in return, in lighted door frames, shuttered rooms, that held your pen or your cigarette or your suitcase for you, the sense you rely on to make you that you are okay here. What then does an umbilical cord or blood sample or double helix have to do with how much I love my kid, or how much I love my mother and my father, and how much distance we have between our nucleic strands? But I don't know you. This one is called Peach. When I was small, I used to tell white people that they were peach colored. I had probably read that on the side of a crayon. It made literal sense. I was small. But have you ever closed your eyes to take a bite, only to find a rotten peach fall to bitterness, running from your mouth in thick strings of saliva that you can't spit out fast enough? Even though you don't taste that taste anymore, you remember how rancid it was and approach peaches cautiously. My partner's laughing in the other room. This one is called When I Leave the House Some Mornings. While I imagine the spaces in between what freedom means and why I should be so grateful, at least I'm not in some awful position like those kids dying in over there. Someone or other tells me to get over it, get over myself, bootstrap my ass, and if I don't like it, get over it again. As though trauma is a stasis within which I'm meant to revolve within, absent an outward trajectory, atoms smashing together delicately, to avoid meltdown, staying just the right speed and temperature to meet their collision points, while gleefully waiting to get to work on time. So I do. Passing churches full of folk generally offended by my existence, questioning mine. That is, Denmark Vesey staged revolt in his house, and his oppressor turned to murder. Our spirit, our very will to live. The bodies of 9 dead and newly made ancestors in blood, then dirt, clutching Bibles, all of which never stopped commingling, rivers and such. We don't die cleanly. I'm aware of the reflections in the bus window. I'm meant to be a statue, chiseled in time from stone, sourced from the earth. It's all ethical, of course. It's nothing personal. A superstar athlete, hip hop mogul slash reverent churchgoer, but please, enough with the word and the talking. Someone I don't care about said that the best basketball player in the country that we know of for now should shut up and dribble. as though those two things somehow exclude spirit, intellect, and absolute heart, instead of speaking public observations of race, equity, and bullshit in America. From the first pendulum to the second, to the moment before the lexicon can even morph into a language, the statue crumbles, and the tremulent knocking at the base of the skull of my near neighbor forces a grimace and a tighter grip on the balance bar. And I don't need a window reflection to see that I'm becoming a drug dealing prostitute, crack whore, mother gangster faggot who probably beats her kids who tried to sneak onto the bus anyway. Become a woman who should be thrown from a train for laughing too much, who should probably be wrapped and burned in any flag. Use her food stamps as kindling. Joyous. Take one. You are aware that this is the most uninspired thing you've done, and you're grateful for the reprieve. You are steadily holding fast to boulders as you tumble downhill. You're not quite ready to leave, but it's killing you. You are dying. Slowly enough to forget that it's happening, surprised when the blips on the screen spike. You're nothing more than 126/80. Quit smoking, 12,000 steps a day, give up red meat, and go out dancing more often. When it's over, the soft layer of skin that wears a trickle of sweat along the side of your neck, beneath my own skin, the corpuscles named for many men are still mine, holding a dull glint in the light, magnifying a patch of pores and hairs, then darting into your shirt, beyond reach, tracing your clavicle, and how I want to be that simple, that transparent. You have to believe that I know what it is to feel tenderness. I'm trying to decide how we're going to end here with some Holy Spirits or some Serenity. Serenity. When she met the man who carried the sperm that helped to make me, she loved him till he beat her. Then he loved her till he beat her. The sun in San Diego was burning, bouncing and reflecting from the side view mirrors when his wife came and she beat her against the hood of a car. And he watched from the back of a bus, slowly driving by. And later he promised her never, forever. Then he left her, but not before his daughter came looking for him too. She looks like me, and I look like my mother, who taught me that nothing is ever easy. When I was small, she gave me a token I still carry, glossed onto a notched piece of wood, something you would find in a grandmother's house, and ironic considering my own grandmother. The word in that late 70s love story font, adorned by pink roses and baby blue flowers. Love means never having to say, I'm terrified of you. God grant me the serenity to accept that life is fucked, the courage to fuck up what I can and leave behind what I cannot, and the wisdom to not get poisoned by the water while I'm drowning in the well. My mother would admonish me not to make fun of others. She gifted me stories in which unnamed, faceless bodies called her no knees and porky, who called her hair a rat's nest and made her afraid of other people's eyes. She learned to be observant, and she learned to believe in peace, accordion breaths, marionette release. But I grew up believing in loud voices and bloody noses and twisted arms and knife fights and near misses with Second Amendment type weapons because I didn't know peace or fairness or equality to speak of. Each requires a depth and breadth I could only imagine, and the wisdom not to get poisoned by the water while I'm drowning in the well. And I was always trying to figure out what the fuck anyone ever meant by nigger, woman, female, sticks, and stones. Last one. Joyous. Take 3. You are 126/80, and it's good news. You're waiting for the other shoe tied tight in a hurry to loosen. Your transfer will expire in the next hour, and you're still waiting. Imagine what you will do when you do it. Cross the street, run to catch the bus. The kids are/have always been waiting. Your eyes are puffy, and your stomach sometimes burns. You're aware of the problems that come with stealing time. in order to place the words in such a way that they will remain. Screen is paper, war is peace, the burning is momentary, and time is a string of moments hung around, a stiff neck like the loosened tie on the dude in the office with a crumpled face, not going anywhere anytime soon. Thank you.